Donald Trump just can't stop himself from making weird, sexist, racist, and misogynistic attacks on Vice President Kamala Harris. He can't say anything about her record because his is terrible and hers is historic. He can't say that she's soft on crime because she's a career prosecutor and he's a convicted felon. And so he's resorted to these weird, frankly, gross, and really off-putting attacks that even Fox News is now starting to call him out on. Yes, the Fox propaganda outlet that loves Donald Trump is telling him to shut up. Fox host Tomi Lahren, live on air, said, Donald Trump, please shut up. Please stop talking. Please stop putting off all of these women voters, because she knows that the things that he's saying, these misogynistic and sexist attacks, are just so off-putting to everyone. And so she told him to shut up. And let's check it out.
Now they've got about 100 days of a honeymoon period that might very well last 50 to 60 days, where people are still going to be just excited that they have Kamala Harris. They're not going to dig into her record. They're not going to be bothered by her record because they're going to be so excited for probably the next 50 days. Well, we've only got about 100 until a general election and even fewer to early voting. Yeah. So don't get too comfortable on the Trump side. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this later, but the attacks on her personally, on whatever her past personally may have been, or calling her a childless lady, none of those are going to work, and they're going to make women second guess their support for what they may have felt for Donald Trump. Bad move.
Ooh, there are a lot of strong points in that for Republicans. I mean, depending on how much you love Donald Trump and do or don't like his VP pick, some of that was for J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for
Don't
everyone.
call women dumb. It just doesn't work. On Republican women or liberal women, it just doesn't work. There are much better ways to attack Kamala.
Yes, we've seen this new attack from Republicans lately to say that Kamala Harris is unfit to be president because she doesn't have what is a conventional family in their mind, because she doesn't have children of her own, although she has helped raise stepchildren with her husband, Doug Emhoff. They don't see that as a real family, which is just a ridiculous and gross attack to make. And for the party that says that they care about freedom so much and family values, the idea that they would attack millions of families around America because they don't fit their exact view of what a family should be is just sad and hypocritical. But it is good that Fox News, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is actually calling out Donald Trump on it. Now, of course, their intentions aren't to make him a better person. They just want him to win more votes. But someone who did go on Fox News and attack Donald Trump, call him out, tell him he is terrible, was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. And we're going to watch that clip in a second, but I find it so funny that Donald Trump is now seeing so much criticism on Fox News, and he clearly doesn't like it, and he's probably going to go off on Tomi Lahren on Truth Social, send out some angry, unhinged post, but he did just that after Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, took him down on Fox, absolutely shut him down. And I want to read what Donald Trump had to say on Truth Social. Why did Fox News put up Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, where I am leading? They make me fight battles that I shouldn't have to fight. First of all, Donald, you're not leading in Minnesota. You lost it in 2016. You lost it in 2020. You're going to lose it in 2024. And I also think that it's so funny that Fox News is such a propaganda outlet. It's so propagandized that in Donald Trump's mind, even the sight of a Democrat on Fox News is him having to fight a battle just because it's such a biased news outlet. Now, I said that we were going to watch the clip of Governor Walz, and we are going to, and it was just so perfect. So let's check it out.
There is a certain irony to saying that Donald Trump is bad for democracy, when it looks pretty obvious that the Democratic Party leapfrogged the entire democratic system, and they did it in about 24 hours publicly.
Look, the process has always been there. I welcome, if Sean or anybody wants to become a DNC delegate, you're welcome to. But what I know is Democrats are ready to move when the situation warrants it. Look, it doesn't matter convictions. It doesn't matter failed policies. Republican Party stuck with Donald Trump. He's yours. You've got him. Welcome to it. Democratic Party can make our decisions. We pick our nominee. Look, if you don't like it, don't vote for it in November. But I think the American public are going to see they knew that this administration was delivering. We knew that as far as economic numbers placed against global numbers, America's in a far better shape. And we also know that a foreign policy that respects our alliances alliances, not cozying up to dictators like Putin and Orban is not the way to go.
How about this one, Governor?
J.D. Vance, mind your own business is what I would tell them. We'll manage it.
I love what he says there. Republicans are upset that they're stuck with Trump. Now, there's a lot of cultists in the Republican Party who think Donald Trump is literally God, and so they're probably happy that he's their nominee. But for the rest of the Republicans who know how much of a toxic candidate Donald Trump is, like Tomi Lahren, who had to tell him to shut up on air, they probably don't want Donald Trump to be their nominee anymore. They're probably really angry that they have such a terrible candidate at the top of their ticket because, of course, all Republicans really care about is winning. They don't care about policy or anything like that. So their biggest issue with Donald Trump isn't his attacks on our democracy. It's that he's probably going to lose in November, which tells you everything you need to know about Republicans. But that incredible clip from Tim Walz was not the only takedown he gave of Donald Trump. He also responded to his post on Truth Social saying this: "Take it from this small town guy. Donald Trump knows nothing about rural America. That's why he's going to lose Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania." Governor Walz just delivering back-to-back brutal takedowns of Donald Trump, and I absolutely love to see it from him. But he is not the only one who has been leading the charge on Fox News as a Democrat to hit back against Trump, to try to deprogram all those with the MAGA mindset out there who are tuned into Fox News and push a real and honest message from the Democratic Party. Eric Swalwell went on Fox News earlier this week and delivered a devastating hit on Donald Trump, doing a spot supporting Kamala Harris and at the same time taking a shot at Trump. It was perfect, and we just have to check it out.
And now, Karine Jean-Pierre, we thought we were going to get a press briefing today on this monumental decision that happened not even 24 hours ago. No press conference today, but she's going to go on The View tomorrow. Just for the American people, Eric, what should they think about all of this? A lot of people go, this is crazy. Where is he?
Well, they should think that for the past 43 months, he hasn't had any cabinet controversies.
Because they're not meeting, apparently.
Almost no one from Donald Trump's cabinet.
You don't have controversies if you tell everybody what to say when they walk in the room.
But also just look legislatively how consequential he has been. Our kids will drive on the roads that he built. They'll power their phones with chips that he
Well, don't they deserve to hear from the president then?
And he's going to speak to the American people. But again, there have been, his cabinet will show up at Kamala Harris's acceptance of her nomination speech. Donald Trump wasn't able to say that.
The Biden-Harris administration has a proven record of historic success. Donald Trump has a proven record of failure. Mismanaging the COVID-19 pandemic, failed leadership. Did we talk about all of the members of his cabinet who won't show up for him because they've seen how bad of a president that he was, and now they are not only not going to endorse him, but are actually coming out against him? Well, Eric Swalwell put it perfectly. The Biden-Harris cabinet supports Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump can't say the same. Can't say the same. Because Donald Trump is the past, and Kamala Harris is the future. And it seems like the members of Donald Trump's cabinet know that. And what's so important in this election right now is that we are creating this clear contrast between the two candidates. We've obviously talked about how Kamala Harris is a prosecutor and Donald Trump is a convicted felon, and making that distinction is so important right now. But it's also important to make the distinction of young versus old. And it's not that Donald Trump is old and that's his biggest issue, that age in and of itself would disqualify you from being president. With President Biden, I think his age was great. It brought experience and expertise, him being able to do the job better because of his age. But Donald Trump, it's not the same case. We have seen medical professionals, psychologists, psychiatrists say Donald Trump's brain is dementing. He is not just in decline, but it is a dementing brain, which makes him even more dangerous, even more deranged, and even more destructive potentially to our democracy. While Kamala Harris is a bright, new, fresh face in the Democratic Party, our young and exciting new nominee. But it's not just that there's an age difference between the two that creates this contrast. It's an age difference in ideas. Kamala Harris is thinking about the future, and Donald Trump is trying to pull us in the past. And what was the past with Donald Trump? It was chaos and calamity and crisis constantly. That's what the Trump presidency was. And it's not that Donald Trump just wants to pull us back to the time of his presidency. No, he wants to go back even further. He wants to go back 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to when Americans enjoyed fewer fundamental freedoms, fewer civil liberties. He wants to strip women of their reproductive freedom. He wants to attack our democracy, attack our institutions. He wants to go backwards in time. That is the contrast, too, that we must present in this election. Now, Tomi Lahren at the top of this segment started by telling Donald Trump to stop talking because everything he said was so off-putting, but I think everything that Donald Trump says is off-putting otherwise. His policy is failed. He is clearly a bad candidate, and he has no vision for the future. So what would be much better than him just not talking is him not being a candidate. And it looks like that's probably not going to happen as much as we'd like him to drop out or not be allowed to run for president because he has attacked our democracy. But the one thing that we can do is show up on November 5th and cast our ballot for Kamala Harris. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to support her until November and after November when she is president. And if you want to be doing the same and join a movement of like-minded people who are fighting to push forward with Kamala Harris, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. It really goes a long way in helping grow this channel, helping build this positive community, and it really means the world to me. We are a new channel, but already we have blown past 65,000 subscribers in just over 2 weeks. And that is because of you, viewer. That is because of your support of this channel, and it really means the world to me. I am so grateful for what we have already built and what we are going to continue to build because of you. And until next time, I'll see you soon.